Welcome into the Ringerverse. This is, of course, the Ringers Nexus podcast feed for all things fandom. We are Steve, the architect, Ahlman, the builder and tinker of things. Jomi, the explainer of Adeniran. You've got questions. He's got answers. Jonathan, Big Spidey, Big Boulder Kermah, fresh hairline. Old Man Van He of the receding resurgent hairline. Charles is indisposed. We are going to give you a quick trailer reaction to Superman. The trailer is dropped on Thursday. You can follow us on socials, Insta, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Save Jomi's Job. Jomi, 3 seconds.
Follow us.
Thank you. We're live, YouTube. Comment, like, subscribe, share. Every Midnight Boys, every House of R, programming reminders on Tuesday. Button Mash is giving you their most anticipated games of 2025 on Friday. Mint Edition is rolling out their 2025 confidence meter. Midnight Boys and House of R will also continue covering Star Wars Skeleton Crew.
Did you hear how he said programming reminders? This means something to him.
Yeah, it truly does.
This trailer means something.
The real words.
Trying to
You can't wait to get to it.
But on today's show, we are exploring the reaction and giving our own reaction to one of the most significant developments in superhero media. The trailer for James Gunn's new Superman movie due in theaters July 11th, 2025. Normally, we would do a quick breakdown of the trailer, but we're going to guess already that you've seen it. Starts off with Crypto, a battered, bruised Superman. And from there, we get about 2 minutes of different shots that seemingly establish the tone, story-wise, the visual, aesthetically, and the overall rhythm of what this Superman story is going to be. And I say that it's a very important thing because, a very important trailer, because a whole $1 billion business
seems to be reliant.
DC's superhero foray, their new age of superheroes, is relying on the success of this movie. So enough oxygen has been taken up by me. Jomi, your thoughts?
I thought they nailed the vibes of this trailer. You know, I think what we want a Superman story today. We've seen all the dour and sad and all gray Superman stories. We want something bright. We want something alive. We want something that makes us feel like Superman is one of us. And I think this trailer does that.
Right.
Do I still have my questions? Absolutely. But when I look at that trailer, I see a new Superman for a new future, and that's exciting. I can't wait. Where you at, Steve?
Biggest takeaways for me: color, hopeful, music,
That's
optimism.
It's a great haiku.
Yes.
Wonderful.
And then like something syllabic about rivers. I don't know. Maybe something about that. No, this was really, really good. I was impressed really at how I think like we all knew that this was going to be kind of a more hopeful, smiling, and potentially like, again, optimistic outlook on Superman.
Yeah.
And I think this trailer is actually like not to say dour, but I think this is kind of putting the idea of Superman on the back foot in a world that may or may not love him. And what does it mean for a Superman protecting a world that doesn't exactly love him back?
Yeah.
That's the big thing that I see. The idea of Superman already having friends, or the idea of a circle of people that know him. And then we come in at him seemingly on the back foot and downtrodden and defeated. And who does he rely on the most at the moment? His beautiful pup, Crypto.
Yeah.
What you got?
I think the choice to have the first shot, him being bloody down and out,
In the
Looking
Yamcha
like
death
Yamcha,
pose.
yeah, looking like Yamcha. It's crazy.
I think that was genius to just, again, humanize him. I think a lot of times for me, the disconnect with Superman has always been like, this dude, he's essentially a god on Earth. So you got to give us a reason to care. And to start off showing him down and out, great decision. I thought Crypto also, I don't know if Crypto's real or CGI, which I think is a good thing for me to have to ask. Because if you're going to rely so much on a dog in this movie that is probably CGI'd.
I'm going to wager that dog doesn't actually fly.
Yeah, I'm assuming he can't fly. I'm assuming he can't do that.
Yeah.
But my point is, the fact that like the dog didn't look terrible, that was a big
beautiful.
pointer for me. I thought, honestly, solid trailer.
So I went back and watched all 3 trailers.
All 3 being...
I went back and watched all 3 trailers of actually the other 2 trailers of Superman movies that have come out.
Right.
Okay.
So Man of Steel in 2013 and then Superman Returns before.
Mhm.
And Returns seem to be about the iconography of Superman because remember, you're returning with John Williams' theme. It is a pseudo sequel to Superman 2.
Mhm.
It seems to exist for Superman to be as an icon. This is Supes, bigger than everything. You actually hear Marlon Brando as Jor-El in the trailer.
Mhm.
Man of Steel was about style.
Yes.
It was almost a direct reaction to what some people felt like was too soft of portrayal of Superman in Superman Returns. So it's a very stylish trailer. Hans Zimmer sets this tone, striking, little bit more dour, whatever. This one is about intimacy to me. It's trying, when he says he wants Superman to be Superman that you can hug, he actually means that.
Yeah.
You see a lot of shots in this that are fantastical, but there's a choice that seems to be made in what I'm seeing in the way they shoot the character. They're shooting the character, it seems to me, to make him feel a little smaller. You see a lot of close-up shots of Superman doing saves. I didn't see one gigantic, oh my God, there's a small, powerful thing saving a plane. It's up, it's near him, it's his face, it's his eyes, it's him as a person. He's kissing Lois Lane, the camera is right there. So this movie seems to be about intimacy or about getting closer to Superman. And even in those other 2 movies, there's 2 different instances of Jor-El talking where Jor-El says in Superman Returns, he's like, they're great people, Cal, like they really wish to be. And you're going to show them a way. And Superman is literally hovering above Earth and his eyes pop open.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how that trailer ends. The next one,
He's a god, pretty much.
He's a god looking down upon us, showing us the way. This one seems that he's trying to fit in with us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That he's trying to become one of us, that he's asking and answering questions about love. His dog has to save him. And all of that. So it's to see how far he's able to go and push with that will be interesting. And then obviously, we guys can have a field day with some of the other heroes that we saw. Who are you guys excited to see in the trailer?
I really liked the Hawk Girl appearance as a Justice League Unlimited stan.
Freaky.
Don't do that.
Come on, man.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Like
I just love the incorporation there. Even Mr. Terrific, I thought looked pretty nice in the quick shot we got of him.
Even Mr. Terrific.
Why you putting emphasis on the even?
Interesting.
If there was going to be an even, I would have said Guy Gardner on there because we have
Even.
a
cut
we have a biblically
So
accurate Guy Gardner.
Look at that boy.
Everybody looks good, even Mr. Terrific.
I feel like we're putting a
Jesus
lot of
Christ.
emphasis on the even. I just started the
Too and too
sentence with
much.
the word. Don't do this.
Welcome to that
Don't
chair,
do
man.
this.
You're going to get it.
Come on, man. Come on, man. So this is my thing. Besides the fact that, like, I'm watching the trailer, I'm like, oh, this kind of looks like The Flash. Oh, it's got the same cinematographer as The Flash. I've got flashbacks. Sorry.
Wow,
excuse the
that's
pun.
actually
You
an
got
amazing pun there.
flashbacks.
I got flashbacks. I'm like, I don't. And this was like my worry. And I've said this on multiple podcasts when we talk about Superman, is that there's a lot of non-Superman characters in this Superman movie. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so we do see, like you mentioned, Lois and
Well, forget
Crypto.
about Lois. And Lois has to be in
That's
the
what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
those are people who need to be in the Superman.
The
story.
elements of
Yes,
a
like
Superman movie. That
The
you
Daily
would think,
Planet,
yes.
Lois,
Jimmy Olsen, etc.
his pops,
Lex.
Smallville,
Mhm.
Lex, right? All
No
that,
status on Ma Kent yet.
right? All that makes sense, right? But like you're seeing Hot Girl, you're seeing Guy Gardner, you're seeing Mr. Terrific, and I'm like, like if anybody was gonna do it, it's James Gunn, right? When we talk about all his films and his shows, Creature Commando, Suicide Squad, Guardians, Peacemaker, they're all built around a group of people doing a singular thing, right?
Yeah.
You can argue like who's the main character of which Guardians movie versus like, obviously like Peacemaker's there and like Suicide Squad, but it's always like a cast of characters batting around.
Found family type shit.
Exactly.
We've seen this in Peacemaker, Creature Commandos now. Like our lovable family of our found family of freaks is really James Gunn's duffel.
Right.
Like that's his thing.
And so now you have to make, I don't want to say the Superman movie, because, you know, we've had ones that have come out that I think you would argue are like extremely, extremely iconic. And I don't think I would disagree there. But for this generation, he's got to make the Superman movie, you know? And I feel like it's a little tough when you throw a lot of folks in there. But if anybody was going to do it, it's going to be James Gunn.
It's tough for the skeptic in me to be silenced only because of the fact that we know that there's so many DC characters to be juggling around with this. And I think the best version of this is something that is wholly supplemental of the idea that Superman needs to be brought up by the people around him that love him. For some reason in this world, I would like to think that there's something that Superman can't somewhat emotionally overcome. And like we see images of like a crowd like throwing a can at his head, and people being afraid of him or scared that he's not there. Yeah. And I love the idea of this deified idea of Superman not really being appreciated by a world that he's just trying to help because he loves everyone so much. Yeah. And the idea that the people around him build him up rather than people look up to him is amazing to me. I think that the tagline being "look up" is, I think, to be said to Superman rather than to be looking at Superman.
I thought that there were some interesting things in the trailer as far as what Superman does. So in this trailer, Superman punches and he saves.
Yeah.
I remember Kevin Smith talking about the Snyder's movie,
right?
Notorious Good Guys. Not Snyder. Singer. Notorious Good Guy, Bryan Singer.
Oh God.
And saying, did Superman punch anything in the entire movie? Did he punch one thing? And there was a call for Superman to be a little bit more macho. So, because he saves people.
Yeah.
Right.
Big airport save. But did he punch anything? Right. And then when Man of Steel comes, you get a punch fest. All he does is punch.
That iconic shot of him just like flying.
And in this movie, you see him punch through the glass and then save a little girl. You're seeing sort of a rounded version of Superman. I don't think that the choices that are being made in this trailer are accidents, even Lex Luthor.
No, yeah,
we haven't seen the version of Lex Luthor on camera that we see in the trailer. Because he's never been dashing. He's never been cast by a dashing actor. It's been, at least on screen, it's been Gene Hackman. It's been Kevin Spacey. It's been Jesse Eisenberg. Lex Luthor being a dashing, sinister, cut-out version from the comic where he is somebody that, whereas we know that he's villainous, but that America in the world doesn't really know what to make of him, is a contemporary take on the character for our times. And I could see Nicholas Hoult embodying that throughout the trailer.
I have zero doubt that Holt is going to crush whatever's given to him when it comes to a role like this. If there's any tea leaf reading to be done for me in this trailer, it's the idea of seemingly the parallel age appearance between Luthor and Superman. Because every time that I've seen Luthor be portrayed around the same age, think Smallville, usually there's like either a shared history or a longing of hate and jealousy between those two that stems deeper than something that's just, hey, there's this big thing in the sky that could kill us all. Or like the idea of like fear mongering that Luthor is like typically done in his life. When he's older, it's more of like an industrial, like what Gene Hackman has done, where he's kind of seen him as like this alien thing that isn't as personal, but something that's more like isolating.
Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor just views Superman as an obstacle.
Exactly.
He doesn't give a fuck about who Superman is or what Superman does. He looks at Superman as somebody who is just going to stop his schemes. The way Lex has been portrayed in media after that is as someone who is inherently skeptical of an all-powerful hero that exists,
and cynical about that idea.
Cynical of it to a degree to where it not only impedes his ability to take over, but he also has been used as sort of a mascot for the part of humanity that wouldn't accept saving.
Exactly. And I like kind of the worst idea of that, like think about what the character, if you will, Jesse Eisenberg kind of embodied a little bit more of that as like a cynical tech bro. But I think with this seems to be a bit more of like a using your like influence in industry and whatever LexCorp looks like right now. Luthor Corp, excuse me. So like, it should be LexCorp.
It should be LexCorp.
It should be that just rolls off the tongue better. You know, small note.
What can you do? What can you do?
No, I think it's really cool. I want to know that Krypton bullets are in that revolver. That's really cool. I don't know what he's doing with that.
Kryptonite
That looks sick.
Shoot Superman. Superman be able to move out of the way of that shit. This fuck out of the way. Like you know, he can move. There's a couple other shots that stood out to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get to some of the things that didn't work for me in a second. The kid struggling to raise the flag is a very contemporary message to me. If you're strong enough to ask for help, then help is on the way.
Yeah.
And kind of seeing someone believe in the symbol of Superman enough to where you see this child struggling to raise a flag in hopes that Superman like would see it. There are a lot of contemporary messages in there for me, even for a post-COVID era group of people who had to come to rely on their dogs. You know what I mean? For X amount of years.
James Gunn's still a sicko for using this level of emotional manipulation.
Right, but
it's
like,
working.
Right away you see Crypto pop up. Crypto was one of the most divisive things about the movie before. It's like, how the fuck is the dog gonna be in there?
The second that he whistled, I'm like,
the dog, he whistles, Crypto comes there, he hands him his cape, saves Superman.
You think Bozeman? I mean, I know Bozeman would do that for you, but like, what would you have to whistle to get Bozeman to fly all the way out?
I'd have to say ball.
Yeah,
Bozeman,
I would be the hint of a ball.
I would be like laying on the ground, and Bozeman would come over there, and when he came over there, he'd have a ball in his mouth, and he'd drop the ball. I'd literally have to throw the ball to get Bozeman back to the
No, see, what's going to happen is you're going to whistle, and he's going to come with a tennis ball in his mouth and expect you to play with him, and you're going to be beaten to near death.
What didn't work for you guys?
I wouldn't say so much what didn't work. I think it was more of things that I'm unsure about. Because again, like it's not so much like I have very little to complain about. I think it's more of like, okay, your declaration of intent with all of these things has to be so calculated, and with as active and as online as Gunn is with wanting to make this the sort of flagship for his vision about how DC is going to be giving you movies.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything more consequential and like hyped up, understandably so, than this trailer. So I have to like he's inviting this level of scrutiny.
I don't know.
So there have been a couple of, you've seen the split on the internet.
Yeah.
Jomi.
Well, people, and this is my thing is, you know, it's not a folks gonna get up in arms, you know what I'm saying? Not my Superman.
I'm not listening to
all that thing. Yeah,
I ain't listening to that.
I think, and this is why I think the trailer is successful, like regardless of how you feel about the movie. Because for how many years we've gotten, since Injustice came out, it's ruined Superman's rep. Like, it's putting it in the dirt, man. Sure. Everybody want to do bad Superman. You know, whether it's The Boys, whether it's Invincible, like it's always some. What if this super all-powerful being was evil, right? And again, for the first time in a long time, we're now seeing if Superman actually wanted to be human. What if he, instead of wanting to be a god, what if he, wanted to be just a regular guy? And I know, like, Zack Snyder tried to do that, but he really didn't do that. His whole thing was like a Superman power fantasy. Let's be for real.
Sure.
But so this is the first time we're gonna see Superman embody what it means to try and be a regular person like me and you. And I think the trailer does an excellent job of portraying that.
My only thing that I think that it's minor that I don't like is, and I get it's supposed to be a cool shot. We have some kaiju in the sky while he's at his apartment, kind of chilling, talking to Lois. Nigga, if you don't get outside right now,
that looked a little bit like Starro, but I'm gonna say here's exactly what I think, because like there's some Gunnyisms that I'm just saying that like. Well, it's the kaiju. It's the kaiju when you're having an argument with your wife. That feels like very like Frozone not honey, where's my super suit? But like, no, I'm not focused on the monster. I'm focused on us having a
You
conversation.
got to lock in on your relationship,
Yeah.
though, man. You ever never been in the trenches, man? You got a lot going on, but you got to make it work with your lady.
Exactly.
That's what you got to do, man.
Turn the game off.
It's time to lock in.
I hear you. If I have some issues with my lady and it's time for my shift, like we're gonna figure it out.
Exactly.
So the idea.
See, here's the thing: if you're Superman,
so you and your girl aren't getting along, but you have to run production on podcasts. You leave to run the production on podcasts.
If we had Midnight Boys at 12 and we got into a fight,
we have Midnight Boys at 12,
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
You and your girl are having a big time fight. Let's say
11:45.
11:40. What you do?
I'm gonna say, hey, baby, I love you. I get it. Energy's high. I gotta do this real quick. Pause this conversation. We'll be right back. Because
okay,
I'm not hey, I got bills to pay.
Hey, I'm hitting y'all. I'm like, yo, we gotta finish. Me and her gotta finish this real quick. Like, we have to finish it. I'll tell you, and so look, I don't know what's going on outside. I do think that the kaiju is an interesting choice. I'll speak to two things real quick. That's funny, Kerms, because a lot of people were saying that, like, what's going on outside? He's in there dealing with Lois. He might be just kissing her one last time.
Yeah.
It
could be like,
he
hey,
doesn't know if he's gonna die.
Speed that shit up.
But I got
There was no urgency.
People
That's
died
why
in
I
his
no
I think he's
urgency
being cute.
whatsoever.
I think he's being cute. If
I'll
you're
say-
Superman, you know that you got.
I'll
that.
say two things. One, on the other heroes, I have to believe that there's some type of utility in the other heroes being in the movie. So I don't choose to become annoyed about that. And by the way, for everyone that talks about that, I would just remind them that there have been two contemporary shots at Superman, both in the mid 2000s and then again in the early 2010s.
Yes.
And there was vaults, leaps and bounds of complaining about that. So you're going to complain if the movie is sparse. You're going to complain if the movie is overstuffed. Let's see if it works. I will say, to the kaiju element of everything, interesting to me.
Two kaijus, by the way.
Two kaijus. Two kaijus
A lot
for
of
Superman to
kaijus.
fight. We saw Metamorpho, but we also saw two kaijus from the kaiju thing. Interesting to me. Something that he can just beat on and beat on and beat on and beat on and beat on, pull apart, rip apart, that does not have to come back for another movie. You can give Superman something to dispatch in a movie that you don't need to preserve or make the decision about whether or not it dies.
I see such a diversity of things.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to.
Yes and no.
Okay, give it up.
Because it's like, again, this is a Superman that's supposed to be down to earth. We're supposed to be able to relate to Superman. Punching a kaiju is cool, right? But you gotta be able to. The person that he facing off, like there's a scene at the Guardians baseball field. He's fighting somebody 1v1. Like that's what we got to see, right? When he's bloodied in the snow at the beginning, whenever
What
that
left him
happens,
there?
it's what left him there. If it's a kaiju, it's going to be like personal. If it's Lex or
not
somebody
only
we know, it's
beaten
a little
up, but
different.
sad enough to go home rather than keep fighting.
No, he needs to recuperate.
You got to
I
go.
get that.
He's going to Smallville or the Fortress.
I think he's going to the Fortress. I think there he's going to the Fortress. I think he's fucked up. He needs the sun. Take me to some place where I can recuperate.
I tell you what exactly is going to happen in that moment.
You've seen the movie. You're locked.
Yes.
You're locked.
No, in my heart of hearts, he wants to go to the Fortress. Crypto takes him to Kansas.
That's not what happens. Bumbling Clark Kent, or it could be though, because that could also be the scene where he hugs his dad.
Yeah.
His dad's like, "How you been, boy? I love you." Bumbling Clark Kent.
Yeah, man.
We're back to the Bumble.
This is the first time where I'm like, oh yeah, I would never think that guy's Superman.
Yeah, because his hair don't make sense.
Yeah.
He's like,
even though he's like
little...
a 6'4" Hugo Boss model.
Because this is again, we talk about why people were comparing this to Reeve, not like it's this like one, it's like for like, but it's kind of in the same vein.
Yeah.
Whereas like Christopher Reeve would like hunch and appear small, even though he's like what
fidget.
Yeah,
he's like 6'3", 6'4".
6'4". No, David Cornswet, same height, just doing like the same thing. Just even though like we're watching him walk through the people, and like everybody on that set had to be like 5'6" or something like that, because he was towering above him. But he's got the whole like flop sweat little thing going. he's really playing to being Clark versus being Superman.
Yeah. So Cavill got away from it. Cavill was no Clark Kent. He was just like a guy who was super.
That's a dude who's like, that's Superman.
That's Superman. You got no.
Like,
I think that's one of the advantages of Corn Sweat not being like too bulky, because it's like I think it makes it a little more believable.
He might be the bulkiest Superman we've ever had.
He's swole.
Yeah,
He's super
more swole than
swole.
Henry Cavill.
Nah, but Cavill was compact and swole. Though.
Okay.
Cavill, but so I see what you mean. Cavill came off as swole.
Yeah.
Like Corn Sweat is taller, so you can back it
That makes
shit up
sense.
and make him
Yeah.
look. But Cavill was a little stick of dynamite, and you saw him and you're like, God damn, this nigga
Have you seen him?
too swole.
Have you seen him in that movie next to Jack Reacher?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he looks tiny next to him.
Well, that guy's
like
fucking that guy.
Yeah. Well,
he's talk about
yeah.
Diesel. Like
He's like that shit.
No.
That like that.
Yo.
Come on, man.
That guy's different. So yeah, you guys haven't seen the discourse online about the trailer?
I like listen, here's the thing. The Snyderverse really exhausted me on any sort of DC movie level discourse to where I'm like, I'm gonna like what I like, and it's none of that. So this I like. I really, really do. The Snyder Bros can complain all they want. I don't really care.
Snyder Bros.
Yeah.
So are you saying that a lot of the criticism that you've seen is in bad faith?
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say that a lot of criticism that I've seen about DC or any level of like superhero discourse began to be fueled with the idea of like Zack Snyder not getting what he wanted with his vision of DC, and then that calcifies into this echo chamber of this weird like give Snyder what he wants because he gave the real just because you made Justice League happen, which for some reason was like mired in bullshit anyway. They think that there's this like weird hidden agenda of like making like it's like this like QAnon truther thing where like the real superhero movie is Zack Snyder's original vision and nothing else is like it's so stupid.
So I'm gonna read some tweets from people based upon my interpretation of the trailer, and I'm gonna read some tweets later. Before we get to it, let's talk score. Score is interesting choice.
Mm-hmm.
You got a little bit of a rock guitar thing in there, very soothing.
John Williams,
very soothing, but it's a rendition of what John Williams did. Hans Zimmer went completely away from it.
Yeah.
Bryan Singer kept the score, which is one of the most stirring, amazing scores ever.
John Williams.
This one wants you to it is acknowledging that there is one sound of Superman, but also saying that Superman sounds a little bit different.
Yeah, it's modernized. It's like it's made a tad hipper. If you could say that,
it's the same thing we do in all the trailers. We take something that we know, a song that we know, and then we put in a different genre, or we have it a cappella or whatever, But I can't imagine that song don't play in the movie, like word for word, bar for bar.
Yes, and I could also be like, okay, James Gunn, like how many 80s power ballads are you putting in this thing? Like what? Like, are we going to be hearing David Bowie's Starman? Assuredly.
We got
like,
Huey Lewis in the News out there.
Sure. Nothing's off the table.
Too hip to be square.
Will Guy Gardner sing "It's Not Easy Being Green"? That's on the table.
Kerm, you love music. You like to use Future, right? You like Future.
I love Future.
What's the number one Future record to you again? What'd you say?
I really like Monster, but I probably have to say Hendrix is my number one.
Hendrix?
I love Hendrix. No,
I'm talking about the song. What's the best Future song?
Throwaway.
Everybody loves Throwaway.
Throwaway is that shit, bro.
Wow.
It's like I think it's two halves to it. It's the first half of it feeling like, damn, this is dripping in the misogyny to the maximum, just fuck her, right?
Like,
but it's like, oh no, this nigga is just as depressed as everybody else.
He's hurt because she gonna get him over. Go get over.
Draco with a book bag. I love Draco, man.
It's a choice.
All right, so look, this is a tweet from the 1975 Charlie.
Oh, I thought it was the band for a second.
At the 1975 Charlie, it says this. We're gonna address these criticisms.
Okay.
If Gunn needs to toss that many ingredients into his Superman story, he probably doesn't have much of a Superman story in him.
I don't necessarily agree with that. He's known to throw a lot at you, but like that sauce can work Granted, does it sound like he's kind of doing the same thing that he's done for both the Guardians and a couple of his DC fare? Maybe, but I think that he seems at least smart enough to know that Superman's going to have a Superman movie, and this is just going to be like, again, another like family of heroes around him.
Yeah,
I hope.
I also think I think it's a smart choice to have this many pieces in there. If we're rebuilding a whole new universe, we don't have to take the Iron Man approach with this shit.
Yeah,
At this
and
point.
how tired are we of not acting like there's a world outside of Superman that he somehow can't access within his own movie?
I think the question is,
Are y'all gonna let Kerm fucking finish?
I mean, no, it's not that big of a deal. I think it's a great idea to make Superman this like heliocentric force to build your universe upon. Like, I just think that's a safe pick. Versus like we start this Superman movie here and then end credit scene, there's other superheroes in this world. Let's just get them in the movie. Like, especially if there's gonna be kaijus going crazy. If there's other superheroes around, they should be around. Like sometimes I get where it's like this is this person's movie, so that's why no one else shows up.
Here's what they gotta do. Here's what they gotta do. Superman is just Superman movie. Superman, Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen. That's the whole movie, right? Credits roll. Superman goes to apartment. Right?
Don't do it. Don't say it.
I'm putting a team together.
Put a team together. It's called the Justice League Initiative.
Frankly,
Superman gets an email.
with a USB flash drive.
There's an email attachment.
Yes,
it's like,
God.
Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific.
With all of their branded logos on it.
All of their like little logos, a picture from 19. Okay.
What are we, some kind of Justice League?
What are we?
Say that again.
Justice League? All right, another one. Because I tweeted, the Superman trailer is spectacular. Because I thought it was literally spectacular. I had a lot of questions, but I thought it was spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
Another tweet that came back. Nah, it looks like shit. Just like all the Cape movies. This is from, hold on, NBA Couchside, at NBA Couchside.
Great name.
Great name.
Special
Twitter
Agent
alive,
Dale
NBA
Cooper
Couchside.
Flag. Nah, it looks like shit. Just like all the Cape movies. They all have that same look. Looks awful. IDK how they continue to make comic book movies look so drab and ugly. Did the movie look drab and ugly?
No.
Drab and ugly is
This
not
has
not
a
what I
color
would've said,
gradient that you
yeah.
can actually see and perceive. Yes.
I wouldn't have said drab.
If
That's not
anything,
the right
I would
word.
say like the color is like, I would say it's safe maybe. Like, I don't think there was anything where I looked where I was like, oh, this is a crazy take on, what the Superman's world could look like, but I don't think it's drab.
You don't think it was a grayscaled Instagram filter like any other
other
Zack Snyder movie?
Right,
No.
exactly.
No,
Jones?
that's not what I would have said.
Next one is from at Brandon Munson.
Okay.
Okay, Brandon.
You guys
you
know
got for
Brandon?
us?
Never. I know a
Brandon Munson. No way, man. Looks like CW or an episode of The Boys. I love my dog, but that ain't the tone I'm looking for from Superman. DC going the Marvel route as Marvel is faltering. Always behind the curve.
You don't watch enough TV, my man. That's what that is, bro.
I mean,
Clearly you don't, because again, somebody who watched 7 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. represent the Hive.
And
It did not look like that.
as somebody who's the biggest proponent of Superman and Lois, who knows what CW looks like, I think you would disagree as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you're watching something on television, you always adjust your expectations for
Yes.
the television budget that you're
Sure.
watching it for,
Yes.
right? And there are different gradients of that, even in
Within television.
gradations in that
Sure.
in the television.
And
you're
they say that
watching.
as a slight, but
Right.
really,
the
like,
Boys, you expect to look different than Superman and
Mm.
Lois, which, by the way, was a very expensive show to produce.
I can't
Superman and
imagine.
Lois, yeah,
I
they-
can't
It
imagine.
was a
like,
very
have the
expensive,
cast?
very expensive show to produce.
Yeah.
I don't see the whole CW thing. I will tell you, you guys have been listening to our ongoing narrative surrounding Superman, and I was concerned with some of the choices when I saw the set photos, but I feel like they work aesthetically in the world that I saw in the trailer.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. It said, y'all starting to get like Charlie Brown in the football. Fanboys so desperate for a decent comic book movie that this can only end in acute disappointment. This is from at Brandom
Brandom.
52. Brandom 52.
That's a
man.
decent take on
Sure.
I
Brandon.
like it. Brandom 52.
I mean, I think we would all say that we want all movies to be good. how desperate we are.
It
It's really
depends.
dependent on how desperate Warner Brothers is. And would I say Warner Brothers is desperate? Absolutely.
We can't be excited about something, man. Like, damn, I think
You can never be excited, guys. On the internet, you can never be happy.
like
No,
we
you
can't
don't be
watch it.
sad.
Like all we saw was a trailer. We're not saying this movie's about to be the greatest movie of all time. I think it's a solid 3 minutes.
It's
I
a high
had a
leverage-
decent time.
I'll say this. It's a high leverage trailer because
It's the highest leverage trailer that we've seen in a long time.
I'm trying to think of one that's like more like whenever a Nolan trailer comes around,
Nah,
that's
but-
probably the
nah, but we
next
know
most
what
hyped thing.
We like, I mean, to the extent of like, we know we're getting with James Gunn, we know we're getting
Sure.
with Nolan, but this is the backbone of which the DCU rests upon, right? Upon this rock, I will build my church. That's what this movie is for that universe.
And then on the second rock, it's Clayface.
Well, but like James Gunn has literally been like, he said it himself. We
Mhm.
got to nail this one. This, like, remember it was called Superman Legacy. He posted a picture of Superman looking at the sky and he's like, yo, we got to get this right. Like, they have put their chips all the way in on this movie working to set up their universe. So it's not as much as we're like putting our expectations on this movie. So that everybody, every single person who's involved with this, everybody who's going to watch this knows that this movie has to work in order to propel their universe. Now, if it doesn't, that's a question for then, right? I hope there's obviously like we've mentioned, we want it to work. We want it to be great. Want to enjoy it. Who doesn't love a great Superman story?
Mhm.
At the end of the day, as long as there's something in the movie that we can take away, because my fear is that at worst we get a good Superman story surrounded in a whole bunch of nonsense and BS that we don't really need in a movie, right? But as long as there's something that we can take away from that, like, okay, there was a good Superman story there, and we can have building blocks to build the DCU, then that's cool with me. However, we all know that they want more than just that. And so we have to kind of, I don't want to say like reset our expectations, but we have to just know going in, like, this does kind of have to do something in order to make
Was
it
the trailer
worth it.
campy?
No,
A lot of people are saying it's camp.
they don't know what that means.
Tell us what it means.
Camp is like an excess of like gratuitousness and almost ugliness that turned on its head and put under a microscope becomes either fun or hilarious. If you think Evil Dead, if you think Jonathan Waters movies, camp is not something that James Gunn exactly does. He does humor, he does like gore, he can do like horror-filled creature feature stuff, but
Now, he
camp-
does come from trauma.
He does, but I think he's kind of moved
So
away
there's
from
some
that.
camp that's baked into his DNA.
Sure, but like he's moved away from that, you would say, ever since he's kind of gone into the Marvel milieu, right?
Well, I would say that the Marvel milieu makes it such that whatever is in your DNA is going to come through in your film in the most rationed doses that it can, right?
Exactly.
Like Sam Raimi made his version of a Sam Raimi movie for Marvel, and it's not a Sam Raimi movie, but you can tell.
You could have there's isms there. Of
You
Sam
can
Raimi.
tell.
There's isms?
This is going to be a universe in which James Gunn is in complete control. So if there is camp to be had, maybe it will be in there. I don't know that it's campy. I agree with you.
Don't mistake camp for silliness.
Okay.
That's not what that
Okay.
means. Like tongue-in-cheek humor does not mean camp. Camp doesn't necessarily mean to be something that is like detracting from your movie's self-seriousness in order to bring a point home.
Let's call an outsider real quick. Because somebody else watched the trailer. Let's call an outsider. This is
Hello?
Kalika. Abrams.
Kalika.
Kalika, you're on the Midnight Boys.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Kalika.
Hi,
What's up, it's
Kalika.
I
Kalika?
thought I was getting a heads up before. I'm here now.
That's never the case. Hello.
Okay. So we're all talking about the Superman trailer. I sent it to you. What are your thoughts on the movie?
So I kind of have like a little grudge against Gunn right now.
Oh,
Oh.
why is that?
Because I just think that there's certain cuts that didn't need to be made, aka Superman and Lois.
Oh, she's
we,
mad.
We actually didn't. We actually haven't talked about that
She's
yet.
mad that
Yeah.
Gunn put the
Put the
to
kibosh
Superman
on the
and Lois.
show.
Yeah.
I just think that it was unnecessary. And, but it's your world and we just live in it right now. So that's fine. So I just feel like everything better be great. Better be great.
If you feel emotionally manipulated by crypto, will you still have beef with James Gunn?
See, I don't think I'm going to be emotionally manipulated by him because I think he's too fluffy and furry.
Okay.
Interesting. So if it was an ugly dog, then you feel a different way?
He's too cute.
So cute.
I think that I thought that he was going to look more like a shepherd, like a German shepherd.
Oh, like the Rock movie.
Like a strong dog.
Well, he's normally a white German shepherd. A white German is probably
right.
Well,
but he's normally a depending on what era. It's fine now.
Yeah.
But he was a white German shepherd before because he was in Titans, the show we used to watch.
Yeah.
And
that show we watched and definitely finished.
He's going to look like that.
Yes.
Right.
Definitely.
Yes.
Something like that.
So
But
I guess my question now is, do you have anything substantive to say on the trailer?
I just don't want to see a DC world interpreted as Marvel. Like, I don't want to see.
Don't get that Marvel in my DC.
Guardians. I don't want to see. I don't want to see Guardians, but Superman.
Okay,
that makes sense.
That's what it felt like a little bit to
A
me.
fair concern.
Would less cameos be a solution?
Good.
Yeah.
So what has been, just before we let you go, what has been your favorite Superman movie in the last 20 years? 25 years? Did you like the Brandon Routh one? Did you? Oh no, well, you're a Superman and Lois gal.
Yeah, I mean, if I can pick that versus the movies, then I'll for sure pick that. That's
been
far and above.
Glowing reviews.
Yeah,
from all sides.
Anything that we've seen. But, I mean, we'll see. I'm not going to be completely down about it. I'm sure it'll be good. I'm sure.
Kalika.
I like the fact that DC does have a little bit of a darkness to it.
Oh, wow.
And Mark is a little bit more of a fluff to it. I don't want to go as dark as the Batman. You guys know how I feel about the Batman.
Sure.
I do like that there's a little bit more of a seriousness to it. And I just don't want to see him take that away.
Kalika, can I offer you an olive branch real quick? Because when we did our hype meter, when they announced the slate, they announced Creature Commandos was going to be an animated show, right? And they got rid of Young Justice, and I was super upset. I was so hurt. I gave it an F-. And the show came out, Kalika, and it's a good show. They got rid of my show for their show, and it's pretty solid. So it could be the same for Superman. You know what I mean?
Work.
It could work. You gotta get that hate out your heart. You know?
It for sure. You're right. It could. It could definitely work. Are you as fond of it as Young Justice?
Nah, it's only 7 episodes, but it was cool.
I mean, okay.
It was really cool.
Okay.
Listen, with the Superman movies, there's nowhere to go but up from here. So
That's fair.
Look up.
I'm not upset, but there were just a few things that I saw that I was like, okay. Right, well, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay. All right. Make sure that you have love in your heart for all different varieties of dogs, by the way. All dogs need love, just to let you know.
Yes, we love all dogs, but you're not going to... Oh, what's the dog's name who's in Guardians? The Don't Call Me a Bad Dog?
Cosmo.
Oh, Cosmo.
Yes. See, I don't want a reinvention
Okay.
of Cosmo.
Okay.
That's the
Okay.
thing.
Fair.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Kalika.
Thank you.
So James Gunn has said, like, they were embracing all of Superman mythology, and we talk about crypto in the Fortress and the Daily Planet, all that stuff. Like, this is going to be like a back to basics Superman story. Like, he's going to be rescuing kittens out of a tree. He's going to be doing like all the regular standard stuff. Is that how far we've fallen from Superman? Where if it's just like, hey, just give us the stuff that he's been doing in the comics for 100 years.
Maybe we don't think about it as far fallen. Maybe it's the thing that we've gotten far away from. And it's the thing that we need right now. Maybe, Clark Gregg, to quote Clark Gregg, maybe the world could use a little old-fashioned Superman.
Yeah, if he's not saving cats out of trees, he's not Superman. I mean,
Yeah. If that kid doesn't see Superman to put up the flag.
We don't like we've talked about this before ad nauseum. We don't like Superman for how powerful he is.
Mm-hmm.
We like him because of how human he is.
Exactly.
Superman is governed. He's an orphan from a world that its excesses destroyed it. Superman is a character that is trying to prevent that from happening on Earth.
Yeah.
And sacrificing a lot to prevent that from he's literally trying to bring lessons in his DNA to a new planet and head these people off before they meet the same fate as his old planet.
Yeah.
In order to do that, he has to be tied to the very basic elements of being human. And the struggle for humanity is what's always made the character so great. I think a lot of things have changed. I think I was having a conversation. You guys mentioned Homelander and Evil Superman and stuff.
Mhm.
I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, Audie Cornish. Shout out to Audie Cornish over at CNN.
Cool.
I was telling her why I still believe in Superman. And she was saying, well, if Superman existed today, Superman would be Homelander. If Superman existed in the real world. And I get when people say that, but what I say is this. Superman is Superman and Homelander is Homelander. Homelander is who Homelander is because the mythology of Homelander takes our flaws and then imbues them into him.
Mm.
Superman is not of us. He's coming to Earth and he is looking at his environment based upon who his parents are in Krypton and how he was raised. He was shown kindness. He was shown patience. He was shown care.
Yeah.
And he was shown love. And the overarching theme is what would happen to the most beautiful, supreme, strong being in the world if that type of care was put into him. What would happen if that type of care was put into all of us?
The idea that absolute power cannot corrupt absolutely.
Well, the idea that you're as powerful as your belief system is.
Exactly.
Right? And so
Batman vs. Superman.
And so to me, like looking at that, obviously Batman a little different. Batman operating out of trauma. Superman,
Batman's a bad guy that just fights other bad guys.
Yeah, that's operating out of hope. So that's the heavy lift here.
Yeah.
That's the heavy lift here. Mm-hmm. The heavy lift is whether or not those two things can be bridged. I don't know if we got an answer to that in this trailer, but it was fun. Yes. I watched it a bunch of times. I like the colorfulness. Almost every question I had was aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
It was about their suits. It was about Mr. Terrific. It was about his suit.
Are you sold on the suit?
Yeah, because I think that the suit works. I'm not.
You're still unsure.
You gotta see more. You gotta see more.
I gotta see more, but I'm sold from what I've seen. The suit. I'm sold for the way the suit looks in this world. I'm actually sold on the suit. I would say.
I like the tuck of the cape on the shoulders. I like that. That's a good touch.
Good tuck.
Good tuck. Also like some of the shots of him flying for some reason and his hair wisping around in the wind and all of that stuff. Yeah. I'm into Superman, man.
Yeah.
I'm a traditionalist when it comes to this. I enjoyed the trailer.
Yeah, man.
I really want to see Rachel Brosnahan cook as Lois. I think she was a inspired choice for Lois. And of the shots that we see of them together, like they're just like intertwined in the air or they're holding hands or she's like, she looks at him in a way that seems both like determined and assured, and that to me is like what a perfect Lois Lane.
It's gonna be great when she's asking.
I just
Clark
saw
to spell.
a video of Matt Ramos, the real Soups, in a picture with James Gunn, Rachel Brosnahan, David Cornsweet, and Nicholas Hoult.
Oh yeah, that was probably at the like trailer premiere event that they had in town.
Wow, we ain't got no fucking picture with Rachel Brosnahan and Nicholas Hoult.
Hey, let's be the change we want to see. A lot of game left.
Hey, James Gunn, we right here.
We ain't got no goddamn picture with.
Okay, you gotta throw. You gotta throw.
Relax.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, DC. You know what I'm saying? We talking about your movie.
Nah.
What do you mean? We gotta be nice. Extend the olive branch.
Nah. That's not the way we come at it.
Okay.
We ain't asking for shit.
Oh my God.
We fucking the Midnight Boys.
God.
And we want a picture with corn sweat. We ain't none of that.
What if we
We'll
can get
fuck
you a
this-
picture with crypto?
That would be great. We'll fuck this movie over. We'll leave all. Well, I'm telling you, I have niggas marching at this bitch.
Okay.
Because I have niggas. I'm telling you.
What will the signs look like, man?
I operate from a position of strength.
Christ
I look
alive.
at that and is there envy? Yeah. Is that weak? Yeah. But I come back and I say, you know what?
We can help each other.
I can get a march scheduled.
It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like that scene in Malcolm X.
Oh my
I can fuck y'all movie up. I'll be saying all of this nice thing about Superman. I see everybody else. I want answers. And by the way, I know people in the movie. Okay.
If you know that, make the call.
I'm looking forward to
you know
Superman.
what? Yeah, we looking forward to it, but we also looking forward to what Superman can do for us around here.
See, now this sounds like Luthorian philosophy right now.
What you mean? Like everybody got to get that nigga Soups posted it.
Okay.
Soups posted that shit. It's like everybody else looking at the trailer. Soups like ha 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 ha. That's supposed.
I don't
to be,
think he was laughing at you.
that's
man.
supposed to be Jomi.
Nobody did
because I wouldn't take
anything
the
to
picture.
you.
I don't take pictures with celebrities, but Jomi would.
Absolutely.
Like that's
Yeah.
You don't take pictures with celebrities?
I don't take pictures with
Your
celebrities.
Instagram is you and Jaleel White right now.
That's for promo for higher learning.
She's a celebrity. You took a picture with him.
Oh Jesus Christ! That's literally promoting a goddamn.
I mean,
If I take a picture with David Cornsweat and Rich Bronson, I'm like, yo, they came on a podcast.
He comes on mid
It's
edition.
different.
We're just like plugging this.
it's
plugging it.
It's
Oh, okay.
totally different. And by the way,
It's different.
How
Okay,
many
okay,
how
cool.
many
Yeah.
how many interviews have we had with celebrities on higher learning? And I haven't posted pictures. I posted that picture because that's a guy I actually know and known and been friends with for a long time.
Uh-huh.
So, but as far as me, hey, and y'all, honestly, y'all should know this. As far as me, how many times do you see on my Instagram, hey, it's Van with so-and-so, we at this party, we doing this, we doing that. Y'all know that could be going on. Y'all acting odd. That's okay. Fuck y'all
Acting
too.
odd?
Fuck y'all too.
What?
They, fuck them.
You
This
can
is-
tell
this
we're
is-
not. You can tell we're not on the close friends on IG.
This is-
That's
like,
why.
what are we
this
doing?
is- let me, so it's me and Kerm now. DC, me and Kerm will be leading the march. They out.
wow.
Me
Wow,
and
that's
Kerm will be
crazy.
leading the
Shit.
march.
The march on
against
DC is crazy.
the mar-
DC is crazy.
That's what it's gonna be called.
Fuck it, we ride. Let's do it.
It's
Let's
gonna be
do
called
it.
the March
60
on
degrees.
DC. It's gonna become we gonna have a new January 6th.
That's not how I was going.
Thank you for listening. To
It's
Midnight
gonna
Boys.
be
Bunch of niggas in all black.
all black.
Oh,
Yo, they
no.
shoot us.
You know what?
They
You know
don't
what?
shoot us,
You
bro.
know we're gonna look.
Don't do that.
We're gonna dress up like the super criminals from the second movie with all different symbols and all of that.
Oh my god.
Be outside. Let us see. You better let us see.
Dude, nah.
Saying,
Oh,
we haven't even seen the
God.
movie yet.
Nah, it's not how it's
Well,
going.
like, that'd be
down.
so funny if we got to hate on the movie. If the movie was amazing and then we come back, that shit was whack.
Where's James Gunn's Snyder cut?
Have y'all ever seen
Where's the gun cut?
like what y'all homies that's mad about something? And like I have real quick before we go. And by the way, we can't tell the Kiss of Mint story because it's not gonna work. So stop asking for it.
It really won't.
It won't. It
But
will not.
I had a homie, his favorite rapper was Jay-Z.
Okay.
I had a homie, his favorite rapper was DMX. And for some reason, these guys couldn't accept that Jay-Z was ill, is ill,
Mhm.
and that DMX was ill.
Yeah.
Really?
Rest-
They
rest
just
in
like
peace. It had to be who was better,
Yeah.
one or the other. They couldn't accept
that
that
both were great.
It's Dark and Hell is Hot is fantastic.
Uh-huh.
That Blood of My Blood is fantastic.
Mhm.
That the Dynasty is fantastic.
Yeah.
That Volume 3 is fantastic.
Mhm.
It had to be 101, right?
Mhm.
So, DMX comes out, It's Dark and Hell and Hot and Hell is Hot drops. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I see.
One of the most phenomenal debuts. Blood My Blood comes out and it's good, but it's not as good as the other one.
Sure.
Mhm.
Right? So we still rocking the DMX for a couple of years, whatever. The Blueprint drops.
Ooh.
Mm.
Wow.
And so when the Blueprint drops, we right away know it's some of the best rapping we've ever heard. Some of the best rap music you've ever heard. The Blueprint just goes ridiculous. Shout out to Bink.
Yeah.
Bink got some crazy fucking opinions, but he did his thing on Never Change.
Mhm.
That beat is insane.
Wait, is he on Never Change? No, he's All I Need is Bink. Never Change, I think, is Kanye West. Whatever. So it's great. The one of my boys listened to it. It's like, yo, man, what you think about that blueprint, man. Knowing that it's amazing. I'll never forget one of the funniest moments of her life. And he's like, that shit suck. That shit is terrible, nigga. Get that fucking shit out of here, nigga. Fuck the blueprint, nigga. Nigga, fuck it. That shit's whack, bruh. That shit is whack as fuck. We like, come on, bro. You know that it's dope, bro. You mean tell me Izzo sucks, like Takeover sucks, Never Change sucks.
Song Cry.
You mean Song Cry sucks. You know what I'm saying? You telling me that these are not good records. All them records fucking whack, nigga. What about that DMX, nigga? Yeah. What about that? What the bitches want from a nigga?
You sound like you with Josh Allen, bro.
That's how you are with Josh Allen.
Absolutely,
yeah. You won't hear any positivity around Josh Allen.
Nah.
And that's how we gonna be. If I see too many more of them motherfucking pictures, that's gonna be Jomi. Jomi is our Supes, and if Jomi not invited to take pictures with Corn Sweat and Holt and all of them,
okay.
We gonna be on some. Wait till July 11th. I'm not fucking around. Wait till it. Fuck with me. Fuck that shit. I'm over here talking about Superman, humanity, and all the next niggas bossing up off that damn shit.
This is when Van gets so excited he just gets mad.
It's true.
It's gonna be great, guys. The movie's gonna be awesome, right? And then they're gonna have Batman at some point show up with this universe. It's gonna be great.
That might be the one thing that I genuinely don't want in this movie.
There better not be.
Thing I don't want.
Better not be no Batman scene out of nowhere.
That actually might. When he fly over Gotham at night, and then it's the bat suit in the sky.
Does anyone remember that? I can't remember what movie animated movie it was, but it was like it's the end of a Superman animated movie, and like Batman helped for something, and then like it was a kind of like. Superman admits like, Batman's not so bad. Like the sun's rising and everything. And it's just like, aren't you going to stay? Like, we're all celebrating and stuff like that. And Batman's like, I can't. It's getting late. And then he looks out and Superman looks out at the sun and it's just like, but it's just more. And then he's gone.
It's gone.
Batman's gone.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be fantastic. I would like to see how like this versus Superman and like whatever version of Batman that this universe has interacts because we like
not in this movie,
not in this movie, not in this movie, but not in this with this like you said, like kind of campy, like a live version of Superman we get, and Batman for the longest time has just been a just downer, just absolute dreadful. So we'll see what it looks like.
All right, that's a wrap, you guys. Superman Legacy Pod. We give you guys an hour on the trailer because we fucking love y'all. We love y'all more than we love other places we don't get invited to and shit like that.
All right, wow.
We rather fuck with y'all. We might screen the movie bootleg here, so you don't have to pay for it. So do this. We bootlegging Superman. If we don't get our shit, we'll have that bitch playing in every barbershop in America. That's it. That's a wrap. On Tuesday, Button Mash is giving you their most anticipated games of 2025. On Friday, Mid Edition is rolling out their 2025 confidence meter. Midnight Boys and House of R will also continue their Star Wars coverage. Steve, tell us about Skeleton Crew.
Confidence meter?
Confidence meter. I don't know where that came from.
What's going on?
Yeah. Sorry. Tell me about Skeleton Crew?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
There you go.
We love Neil.
Our producers are who? Who's back there?
Cory.
We're not doing a confidence meter, though.
Yeah, we're not doing it.
We'll just take it out.
Yeah, we'll take it out.
Our producers
it's Cory and Aleya.
Big Cory! And Aleya, SOB, Zenieris. We do not have Charles to take us out, so Kerm, you got to do it.
Wow.
Jomi Adeniran on socials.
Let's give us some bars.
Let's go.
Mr. Poet Man.
Give us something, because you a poet.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna edit this like pause time, I'm thinking.
No, this all stays in.
Yeah.
This all stays in.
It's the creative process.
Yeah, you've heard that before. This all stays in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stop.
Come on.
Van, stop.
Brother man.
Be a big girl.
Yo.
Man,
all right.
Sometimes you gotta
shout out my guy Jomi. I know you love the dairy. Superman trailer was solid, but on July 11th, it might get scary. Pew, pew!